Hello everyone, Kelfezond here. Lloyd's on the camera for me. Today I'm going to show you how to set up a rub. We call it a rub for a really useful box. This is one of these. If you want to have a close look, Lloyd, show everybody what it looks like. It's basically just a very dusty plastic container. Now if you see here, we drill holes along here, air holes. Some do more, some do less. This is the right amount that I've found. And then on the actual box we have some here, and again on this side here. Now I tend to have the roof holes and the lower down holes here on opposite ends, and I always have the one with the high holes up here as the cold end and the low down holes as the hot end. Don't ask me why, it just seems to work well for me when I record temperatures to do it that way rather than the other way. To show you everything you're going to need. One rub, obviously. You'll need a water bowl and a hide. Water bowl on your cool side, hide on your hot side. You can obviously use whichever substrate you want. You're probably going to be using a heat mat for this. I use heat cable, if you can see over there, this rack system. It's all done with heat cables. Okay. So when you're filling up your substrate, if you're using newspaper like I generally do, then you'll be okay. Do that the other way around. It's relatively thin, so the heat will get through nice and easy. If you're using a more natural substrate, for instance wood chips or bark or anything like that, you're going to want to make sure you don't pile it up too high so that when the snake's on top he has to burrow down to get the heat. So just a nice thin layer just covering the plastic basically. So substrate, paper, this in your hot end, this in your cool end, and you have a rub ready to go. You're going to need heat source, like I mentioned. You'll have that under, if you're using a mat, you're going to want it like under this area here, and you could probably even get away with just the last quarter here. You might want to make sure you're not taking up too much of this side on heat, so either halfway or a quarter. If you're using heat cables like I am, then I use 2 heat cables with aluminium foil. Again, just at the quarter mark and just before the halfway mark, 1 cable under each with the aluminium to heat it up. If you're using any form of heating, you're going to want a thermostat. That's this little thing here. These basically tell the heater when to go on and when to go off depending on the heat. You'll be using a pulse thermostat, not thermometer. A pulse thermostat basically turns your appliance on and off and on and off and on and off and on and off at the right temperature so that it doesn't go too high, it doesn't go too low. If it's too cold in there, it'll obviously stay on. Then when it gets too hot, it'll go off, and then on and off and on and off and on and off. And you'll get a flashing light basically. Like that one there, that's a pulse over there. If you see where the light's flashing, yeah. That's a nice stable temperature there. I'll just take this one out purely to show you what's going on. This is the probe of the thermostat. You're going to want to drill a hole through anywhere here, the here do. And this is where your probe will go through. You might also want to drill one if you're going to use a thermometer to record the temperature, which you probably should do. You don't really need to see what a thermometer looks like, everybody knows that. The probe, I try and stick mine just around the centre of the hot part. Now normally we have a hide there, so it'll either be just by the side of the hide here, or even sometimes I just poke it inside. Put that back. Shove it in there, put it around the back later. That's off anyway. And so this is your rub, and this is basically will hold your snake for quite a while. This is a 12 litre here. Step round and try not to trip over the junk on my floor. Basically show you some of the this is like the perfect size for this little guy here. She is a CB11. She was born this year. She's only a couple of months old. This is a great size for her, but also move her along. As you can see, this one is quite a size bigger, but again, plenty of room for this one. It's all fine. Rigid there. And finally, as you can see, this guy is a lot bigger than the others. See if I can persuade him to come out and not kill everybody. Here's the little guy. As you can see, he's a lot bigger. He can pretty much overstretch the rub itself, but he's okay in here. He will be moved out pretty soon. He does seem to enjoy it more in the rub than in the Viv though, as he does tend to stop eating when we move him into the bigger Viv. So I'm going to try him again in about a month. Try him again into a Viv instead of plastic rub, because it just would be nice to see him in a bit of a bigger place. But that's absolutely fine for him. Feeds every time like gold in there. And you can see the 3 different sizes, they're all out now. This little guy up to this big guy. They're all fine in these 12 litres. Now you don't ever have to fully switch over to vivariums. I've got most of my adults in Vivs there. But you can go up to like 50 litre rubs and they serve perfectly well for an adult royal. The thing about royals is they absolutely love tight spaces and they love the dark, so the Vivs, if anything, are probably less homely for them than the plastic rubs, but they do look nicer, the Vivs. Looks a lot nicer having that lovely Viv over there rather than this block of plastic tubs. Anyway, that is how to set up a rub. I think I've covered everything there. Heat, hide, water bowl, substrate, yeah, I think that's it. So thanks for watching, and see you later.